I just decided to just go ahead on and just post something anyway. How y'all doing? I'm doing okay. Just want y'all to just see that I'm doing very well and nothing is going on with me. I'm not depressed or anything like that or down. I just thank God to see another birthday. I appreciate God for the ways that He showed up in my life through the past years and stuff like that. I thank God that I made it. But I want to talk about my mom. The only mom I have is my mom name is Gloria, just like me. I don't have no other mom. Maybe mother figures that have been in my life, but they haven't been in my life like that. Veronica Cunningham is not my mother. Fannie Williams is not my mother. Angie is not my mother. None of these people are my mother. But a lot of people have stepped in. Robin is not my mother. A lot of people have stepped in and was like they my mother. How can you say that you're my mother or my mother figure and you have never been there for me? I'm so tired of people trying to claim me as their own and they never have been here for me. My mom has been here for me, in the time of need, whenever I need it sometimes. And some things don't have to always be no financial situation. It's just emotional, mental, spiritual, you know. And it came on later in life, but at least she was there. Because my mom, it was just her taking care of all her kids, all four of us by herself. And my stepdad, Earl, used to be there, but, he wasn't much help sometimes. Until my mom used to have to make him get a job or something like that. But my mama did not tolerate men being in her life, just like I would not tolerate no man being in my life on drugs. So I need people to stop saying that they're my mother. I only have one mother that has been there. Nobody else. Fanny only had some weeks with us and we was ready to go back home because of how we was being treated by my auntie Fanny Williams. We was being treated like we wasn't even kin to her. And the way she treated us, it was bad. It was very bad. But it was okay. I'm not gonna even go down that road today. But I'm so tired of people saying that they're my mother. They're a mother figure to me. They close to me. They know me. Don't none of these people know me. And when I gave them an opportunity to know me, they messed it up by doing the same thing as other people. So I'm gonna need people to stop saying that they're my mother because no, you're not. I only have one mother. And her name is Gloria Cunningham, just like me. And I look just like her. I look like my auntie Lily too. That's why she used to run around saying that I'm her daughter. But no, I'm not. I only have one mother and one dad. My dad is Winthrop Glenn Pickett. That's my dad. Even though people want me to believe that he's not my dad, that has always been my dad. I spent time with him just as well as some members in the family on my dad's side, But the ones that wanted to come against me, I never spent time with those people. I never hurt those people. I never came against those people. But, it was just kind of shocking to me that they was going along with a person who wanted to bring me down when I did all I could to be there for my dad, and I'm going to talk about the time when I was, trying to be there for my dad when he took sick. Even though he called me and told me that, he couldn't be around me like that anymore because his other daughter was going through something. She was, throwing temper tantrum because she felt like he spent more time with me than her. And it was not even true. Just because I could talk about some of the times when he was there, he barely was there. But when he did show up, I was happy. I enjoyed my dad. I didn't want him to leave whenever he did show up, but because he used to be drunk sometimes. My mama didn't used to put him out or anything like that. She used to make him, get on the couch or something like that and sleep it off, and then she'd put him out. You gotta go. But she wasn't no low-down person to where when he came drunk or whatever, she sent him out there for him to get hurt. She wasn't nothing like that. The first time me, Angie, he took me over to our house. We was gonna go on a cookout. We was gonna go to a cookout over my auntie Venice's house. They had like a gathering, and it was like a cookout. There was barbecuing and all this stuff like that, and the family was together. And he came by and asked my mom, "Can I go with him?" And I was like, yeah, I was begging my mom to go with him. So he said we got to stop by my house, Angie's house. And I was like, okay. So we walked over to Angie's house, and it was in downtown Fairfield. It was, let me see, it was, well, right now it's like a hair show, like right on the end of, not too far from where her house used to sit. It used to be a big white house. So we stopped by the house or whatever, and he was like, "You stand right here, and I'll be back." So he ran across the street or whatever and was talking to her. She was trying to get money out of him because Angie was on drugs. So he was like, "I don't want to get. I'm not finna give you any money because I know what you finna do with the money. You ain't finna do never going by that crap." But he cursed. I'm trying not to cuss. But he said, "You ain't finna do nothing but go and buy that stuff, and I'm not finna give you no money. I'm tired of you trying to take money." And she was jumping on him, trying to go in his pocket and basically rob him. That what she was trying to do. And he was like, get off of me. You know I'm not finna hit you and this, that, and third and all the stuff like that. She just jumping on him and scratching his face and stuff like that. When she got through with him or whatever, and I was crying. I was crying on the other side of the road or whatever. I was crying and stuff like that. And he was like, he got up or whatever because he fell. He fell and then he got up or whatever. And he came across the street where I was or whatever. She was trying to pull him back, and he was like, "I'm finna go to I gotta go or whatever." And he went on about his business and came across the street or whatever. She was screaming mean words and saying mean things and all that stuff like that. I wasn't even worried about it. Then he hugged me or whatever because I was crying or whatever. While I was waiting on him to chill out what was going on or whatever. I just wish I was older, because if I was older, I would have stopped that situation. Pushed her big, fat, no neck. Let me calm down. Cause it pissed me off because he didn't do anything to her. He was going to her or whatever and tell her that he was about to go to the cookout or whatever, and he had me. She got pissed off because she seen me and stuff like that and asked him for some money. She didn't even want to shake my hand and introduce herself and all that stuff like that. And I introduced myself. He introduced me to her, and she like rolled her eyes and said, "I need some money," trying to get some money from him or whatever to go and get those drugs. And so he was like, "You so rude. Like, why would you do something like that? She ain't did nothing to you. I just came over here to let you know that we was gonna go to the cookout and stuff like that." And it pissed her off and all that stuff like that. And she started trying to act all crazy and all that stuff like that. So he just decided to just walk away and just leave. And you know, we end up. He said, "I'm gonna take you back to your house or whatever because I don't want nothing to happen to you or anything like that because your mom gonna kill me and stuff like that." So we walked to the house, and he took me back to the house or whatever because we went too far from each other. Took me back to the house, and my mom was like, "What's wrong? Why are you crying? What's wrong? Did anything happen?" It's like, "No." But I later told my mom what happened and stuff like that because it wasn't right. But he did make sure I was okay and stuff like that. So he took me home or whatever, and I just stayed there and I just cried because I was like, man, I was finna finally meet my dad's side of the family, and I was disappointed because of this woman and her insecure ways. He tried to let her meet me and stuff like that and introduce me to her, and she didn't even want it. So when something that I had did wrong, it was something that she was doing wrong. You a grown woman behaving like a child in front of a child. Like, grow up. But she wanted drug money or whatever. She wanted some money to get some drugs or whatever. He didn't want to give it to her, but I just want to talk about that time when, even though my dad was not there like I felt like he should be, I still felt the need to be there for him in his time of need. Whenever he was sick and stuff like that, and he was in the hospital, and my grandma reached out to me and just let me know because that's when my grandma reached out to me and let me know that he was in the hospital, whatever. And I was sad about the situation. She said, "Go ahead on up there and see him and stuff like that. Don't worry about what's going on or what you're gonna have to go through or anything like that. Just go up there and see him and stuff like that." And I was like, he told me that not to he can't see me anymore because of his other daughter or whatever, and how she felt. And he was like, "Just go on." She was like, "Just go on up there because you don't know when it's gonna be his last time or anything like that. So just go up there and see him and stuff like that." I went up there to the hospital and seen them. And my auntie went with me. My auntie Lisa, she went up there with me. And we seen my dad or whatever. And you know, I'm not used to seeing my parents sick or anything like that. So we seen them, and I signed my name the first time on the paper. I went up there to see him twice. The second time I went to see him, when he seen me, he said, hey, Tutu, how you doing? I said, I'm doing okay. How you doing? I said, you all right? I said, you ain't in no pain or anything like that. I took his hand and I sat on the bed with him while I talked to him and stuff like that. He was trying to get up. I said, don't you get up. Don't get up. Just stay right there. You okay? And I said, I want you to get your rest and stuff like that. So I didn't stay long because he was kind of drowsy. So I decided to leave out of the house and stuff like that. I mean, out of the hospital and stuff, because he laid back down and went to sleep and stuff like that. So I'm gonna let you get your rest and I'll come back and see you. So I went up there by myself to go and see him and stuff like that. Because the first time I was having an issue with seeing him because the lady was like, don't nobody want nobody to come up here and see him unless they're relatives. I'm selling his daughter. She's like, oh, okay, go ahead on see him and stuff like that. I went over there and see him and stuff like that. And then I seen him the second time. I went up there by myself and stuff like that. So I went and seen them and stuff. And then after I left and stuff like that, I called to the hospital. Well, no, I went up there to the hospital. He was no longer there. They told me that his sister had came and got him. So I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. But say his sister had came and got him or whatever, and you know, he went home. So I'm like, okay. So I went to my auntie Bernice's house. Went to the house that I know that he be at or whatever, where Ken was at and all that stuff like that. And I noticed that the door wasn't open or anything like that. We just knocking on for a while, knocking on. Then we finally heard him. He came to the door and stuff like that. Was like, hello, and I said, hello. I said, can you open the door? And he was like, I'm trying to find the key. Hold on for a minute. I'm trying to find the key and stuff like that. He was trying to find the key and all that stuff like that. And when he tried to find the key or whatever, he couldn't find the key. And when he finally found the key or whatever, it was hanging up or something like that. I'm sorry, y'all, my facial expressions. I'm just seeing him how he was when he came to the door. He came to the door with his underwear and some one sock on. You know, and I'm sorry for the expression on my face. I just don't like seeing my parents without no clothes on. But he had some underwear on and he had a sock on. So he opened the door. I told him to give me the key. I stuck the key in there and I unlocked it. And then he opened it up, pushed it open and stuff like that. When he pushed it open, I went in the house or whatever, and I saw the way he was living. He was on a bed. It was like a pallet like that was on the floor, and it was sad to me, you know. And they had him like that because they didn't want him to, hurt himself. If he was on a bed, they didn't want him to roll off or something like that and hurt himself. So they had him on like a pallet looking like bed, like that's how I was looking. And he was just in the room by himself, and he was like, "Why Ken's supposed to be coming to bring me something to eat, but he hasn't made it yet." I said, "How long ago this been?" He said he hadn't been here all day. He said he was gonna come, but he still hadn't came. And I'm like, okay, so I went in the kitchen. I said, "You hungry?" I went in the kitchen, and when I opened up the refrigerator, I seen some molded stuff inside of the refrigerator, molded bread, molded everything. So I looked in the sink. The sink had nasty dishes and stuff like that. So I decided to wash the dishes and get that nasty molded food out of the refrigerator so it won't make him sick. So I told my auntie because I couldn't do it. My auntie found his pants and helped him put his pants on. She put his pants on, put his other sock on, put his shoes on, and put him a jacket on. And I said, also, we finna go and get us something. I said, wait a little while longer until and see if somebody gonna pull up. And if don't nobody pull up, then I'm gonna take you to get you something to eat. He was like, okay. So we left or whatever. I put him in the car, put my auntie in the back, and I put him in the front because that's my dad up here. So I put him in the front, put my auntie in the back, and we left or whatever. I went and got my mama. When I got my mama, we went and got something to eat. I got him some soft food because I noticed he didn't have much teeth in his mouth, so I didn't want to damage his mouth or anything like that. So we got something to eat. We got some watermelon. I got his Pepsi. We sat on the porch. We talked, you know what I'm saying, like that. And We just was vibing. So when 3 o'clock came, I went and got my children and stuff like that. Had him sit there with my mom until I went and got the children, dropped the kids off, put him back in the car, put my mom in the car, and then we went to take him home to see if anybody was there. With nobody there, so I'm like, okay, ain't nobody here yet, so I'm gonna take you back over here. We went back over there, sat for a minute and stuff like that, and then I left my number. Somebody reached out to me and let me know that somebody was at the house, so I talked to his niece or whatever, and we exchanged numbers and things like that. And I told her, I said I wanted to get him for his birthday because his birthday was about to come up, and Father's Day because his birthday and Father's Day is close together. So I asked her, can I take him to the movies because it was a movie that came out. I wanted to take him to the movies with my kids or something like that, so we could just spend time with each other. I never heard from these people anymore. So I was like, okay, it's fine. But my grandma was like, you already know how people is and stuff like that. I only want your wanted, but grandma, you the one called me and told me to go up there. I was gonna go up there anyway, but I'm just saying, my grandma called me and told me to go up there and stuff like that. I just don't want you to be getting your heart, broken and stuff like that with dealing with different things and stuff. But I didn't get a chance to take him to the movies and stuff like that for his birthday or for celebrate him on Father's Day. So I wasn't worried about it, anything like that. I ended up leaving, but I wanted to keep on checking on him and stuff like that. So I went over to the house again to check on him and stuff. And was knocking on the door. He was not there. He was next door to the house where he lived at. But I called the fire department to make sure he was not in there by himself. When I called the fire department or whatever, because I said I think my daddy is in there by himself and he's not answering. I don't want nothing to be to happen to him, and we didn't get to him in time. I'm like, Lord, please don't let nothing be. I was tearing up. Please don't let nothing be happen to him. So when the firemen came or whatever it is, that we finna have to knock the door down, and they was about to knock the door down, and then that's when police came out the house and was like, hey, what y'all doing? She knew the firemen and stuff like that. They know these men, the police and everything like that very well. So she was like, what y'all doing? He was like, we was finna knock the door in because she said that she felt like her dad was in there. He was like, no, her dad ain't know that her dad is in over here in this house. And we don't even know if you his daughter anyway. Man, when I tell you that hit me so hard, I was tearing up. I couldn't say anything. It's like I was just froze up. And then the fireman said something. It's like the chief over the fireman said something. He said, you didn't even have to say nothing like that. He spoke up. I couldn't even speak. He said, you didn't even have to say nothing like that. She came over here just to see her dad. She didn't come over here with no problem. She didn't come over here to hurt nobody. She just came over here to see was he okay. You can understand that, right? And she was like, yeah, I can understand it, but we ain't finna do that. The fireman said, we're not finna do that. We're not finna act like that. Why would you say something like that? You shouldn't say stuff like that to her because she's doing nothing wrong. And she was like, well, come on in. He right here and stuff like that. But, I was tearing up, That hurted me bad. I was finna just walk off and just leave, but I stayed and was like, because the fireman spoke up for me. He spoke up and he said something. He said that just wasn't right. She didn't do anything to you. She didn't hurt you. She ain't doing nothing wrong. She just wanted to make sure that her daddy was okay. I seen him and stuff like that. Say, you okay? And stuff like that. The tears were rolling down my eyes, and he said he was okay. And she got on the phone with her sister. I think it was either Tawana or Philance, or one of them. I think it was Tawana, though. I'm not sure. And she was like, you did not have to say anything like that to her. You wrong for what you did, and you need to apologize. And she apologized to me, and we hugged it out, and my mama hugged her too. But I just wanted her to apologize on her own without somebody telling her to apologize, because she knows she's wrong for doing that to me. Like that really hurted me with her saying stuff like that. I'm like, when you talking about her other daughter and all that stuff, like his other daughter don't even come around, and probably when she wants something, probably I never came to y'all for nothing, man. I'm just coming to check on my dad and see if he okay. Is that okay? Or is that a problem? But I gave her a hug and stuff like that. Gave my dad a hug. My mama gave him a hug wanted to, and we just got ready to go. That was it. My auntie Lisa she was there too. No, or wasn't, no, Lisa went there. Lisa went to the car, I think. I think Lisa went to the car, or she was the, I forgot. But, Lisa would have acted up, because Lisa, she don't like, she got zero tolerance for bull crap. But, um, I don't be having time for ignorance, you know. But it's hurtful to me how people are. Like, you don't even have to be that way. Why are you that way? Why are you so mean? What is it? What have I done to hurt you or come against you? Against any of them. I never did anything to nobody. Just like I said, I never asked these people for anything a day in my life. I never need anything because I used to work. I was grown, y'all. Like, seriously, I was grown. So grown people work. Even when you know, I was a teenager, you know, I didn't understand things and why my daddy couldn't come around and stuff like that, and why he called me and told me. I was grown then still, but even then he still wasn't around. But still, I still didn't feel the need to just abandon him in his time of need. I always find myself in these situations to where these people want to come into my life, you know, act like they want to be supportive, but they really don't for real. They really don't care for real. And I guess they just wanted me to just feel rejected. I didn't care about none of that. I was okay. But it just low down to how people are. Like, why are you the way that you are? Would you want somebody to be that way towards you? I never needed y'all for nothing. And in my time of need, not even my family. Because I always worked for what it was I wanted. I know how to work. I know what it is to have a 9 to 5. I'm not ashamed of having one. I'm grown. I pay my own bills. I did a whole lot of stuff that I was supposed to be did when it comes to situations. But people just felt like, you know, treat me like I wasn't, you know, good enough. And it was okay. I wasn't worried about it. It was all good. I wasn't tripping. But some people just, the way that they are, you can't change things about people. Just like this person in Mississippi and his family, Daryl, and his sister Tiffany, brother, what's his brother name? I forgot his brother name. Mishon was his brother name. These people, you know, I never had anything bad to say about these people, not never. But I was wondering why they didn't want to accept their brother to have love in his life. You know, they always ask me, why you want to talk to him? Okay, because I love him, because I like him. You don't have to like that person. You don't have to love that person. You don't have to be with that person. So why is you worrying about why am I with a person in the first place? You're not with that person. You're not trying to make that person happy. You ain't finna make that person happy. So why is you so worried about me making that person happy? What broke my heart is that I saw that the family made him a sacrifice. They wanted him to be the family sacrifice. Whenever it was his birthday and stuff like that, you know, nobody showed up. Nobody called him to tell him happy birthday. He'll call them and be like, it's my birthday. And they'll be like, happy birthday. I forgot it's your birthday. But on their birthdays, they was expecting something. He always showed up and bought them something. So honest God truth. I gave him some money for his birthday. And when I gave him the money for his birthday, you know what he did with it? He went and bought some food to cook at his sister's house. Went and bought him a cake just to make it seem like, you know, his family loved him. That's why I said it's so heartbreaking to me, man. People can do so much for their family and their family still see them as nothing. Not worthy to be loved. Not worthy of anything. But this person decided to go against me too. I stopped going around the family because the family, he started feeling a certain type of way. He said, you know, my family loved you more than they loved me. That made me feel some type of way. He said, my family loves you more than they love me, and I just feel some type of way about that. So I stopped going around the family because of what he told me. He didn't feel comfortable with me going around his family because of that. And the stuff that people were saying about me was just wrong because it was a lie. It was a lie the whole time, and I didn't even know this person was just trying to isolate me away from people. Because he went around for real, but he didn't want me to go nowhere for real. I wasn't finna deal with that abuse no more. That person was doing a whole lot of stuff. When I found out who this person really was, I started getting afraid of this person. I had to leave. I never knew this person was in no coven. I never knew he was in Illuminati. I never knew none of that stuff. I did not. The honest God truth. These people try to pull me into a group that I didn't belong in. But without telling me though, they didn't want to tell me that they was, a part of the Illuminati, or they had a group, a coven, But these important people that used to be around them, I'm not gonna say their name, but these important people that used to be around them, these people used to be putting they funds into these groups and stuff like that. Big people, like seriously, they was connected to where they can stop and block you and come against you in the worst way if they had to. When I tell you, ever since that person told me, and this just be going over in my head, he told me, he said, every woman that came into my life and left me, and I feel like it was unfair with them leaving me, I took them through everything. Either they try to come crawling back to me, or I mess up their life. I get in contact with whoever I feel like they're in contact with, or whoever they have a relationship with, and I destroy it. And I have them fight each other. I call CPS on them. I do a whole lot to them because I felt like they shouldn't have left me. I have a detachment problem. That started scaring me. So I'm like, this person is dangerous. I said, what's going to happen when I walk away? This person going to do me the same way? Like, how can you call somebody and tell somebody that you want them to be around you? You want a person to keep you out of jail from going back to jail, and then you treat them like they ain't nothing. Sorry. But this person did a lot, and his family knew too. But it's like he was trying to, it's like a crowd for help. You know how kids be trying to get attention and they just be acting up for absolutely no reason. That's how he was. He used to be acting out, lashing out and stuff like that. It's like, Lord have mercy. One time, while I was down there, whatever, he took a handful of pills, beans, and threw them down his throat. And I called the ambulance. But before I called the ambulance, he snatched the phone out my hand or whatever. And I couldn't really continue the conversation with the people on the phone because he hadn't snatched the phone out of my hand. I couldn't talk to them anymore. So I ran in the kitchen and got him some milk for him to drink. He drank the milk and stuff like that, and I called his grandma because his grandma is the only somebody who he listened to. So I called his grandma and talked to his grandma and told her that he hadn't took a handful of pills. And I don't know what to do. She said, bring him down here. I brought him down. Took him down there to where she was or whatever, because I was in a rental car. I had rented me a car. So I took him down there and stuff like that. Took him down there, and when I took him down there, she was talking to him and stuff like that, saying, you got to stop acting the way that you acting. You grown now. Your mama is long gone, because he was struggling with his mama being on drugs, And he said they struggled a lot when they was younger, when their mom was on drugs, and they struggled a lot with not having her there. So it made him feel a certain type of way. So I'm like, look, I'm here with you. I'm right here with you. So whatever you feel like, the ways that she's not showing up, I can show up for you. That's the whole point of me being here, right? For you not to be by yourself. And I was talking to him and stuff like that, but, he didn't really care about the conversation I was having with him. But what I couldn't understand is, if you get in the house shot up, you trying to get me hurt while I'm in the house. Why these people coming after me so hard as if I did something wrong to this person by me leaving? Like, would you want to sit around the dang on person who is targeting you? Because him and his sister stole my identification, my information out of the dang on house. Him and his sister Tiffany, because they're a crime together. They commit crimes together. Went into the dang on house. He took my personal information and took it to one of his cousins or something like that. And he said something about Tiffany had information and stuff like that, and she was doing this, that, and the third. But They do stuff together, honey. I don't understand. But they used to call each other twins and all that stuff like that. Baby, I was some worse than twins, some bad twins. That didn't make no sense. They weren't twins for real. They just called each other twins because they used to look alike. And their sister didn't look like them for real. But she had some beautiful girls too. Kayla, Carla, and Jamie was her girls. And all of them was beautiful, but she felt like she was the black sheep of the family because of what happened to her. But I kind of shared a story with her so she won't feel so bad. But I was wondering why in the world was the family coming after me in a negative way, and I never did anything but try to love this person. And they was the ones trying to convince me to leave this person. I was trying to keep him safe because his brother used to run down there telling him about things that he was going through, and he'll try to run to his brother's house and try to get into his brother fights with him, with the people that be pulling up trying to fight him because of his girlfriend. Like, I'm like, look, that's his own dang on problem. You need to call the dang on police. You need to stop running down there because you talking about so you want to stay out of dang on. How you want to stay out of dang on jail? You got an ankle monitor on. You finna run down there. Your ankle monitor is gonna go off, and when it go off, the police is gonna be pulling up. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just gonna wait until it go dead, and then I'm gonna go and save my brother on me. On me, you need to sit your behind down somewhere. You got kids out here. You don't even give a care about your kids. Well, let me know that this person didn't give a care about his kids because when he got some money, his kids run around, they nose snotty, all that stuff like that. And I'm like, y'all come to the house and stuff like that. I be knowing the kids be want to play and stuff like that. They don't really be paying attention to the code and stuff like that. But y'all nose running and stuff like that. I'm like, look, you talking about you got some money, you want to take somebody to go and get some stuff, and you want to go with your friends and buy your friends stuff. You need to be behind your dang on. Your children should be your first priority. You ain't finna buy me nothing. You finna go and you finna get in the car, and you finna go on. You finna find a way from one of your friends or whoever else. Go and buy them babies some dang on coats. Put them some coats on because they cold, and they can easily get sick. Because they kids. Go buy them some coats and stuff like that, and buy them some clothes. You don't worry about me. I got me. You worry about those kids. You just getting out of jail. That should be your first priority with your kids whenever you get out. Don't you think? If this person is your dang on baby mother, you should be paying it forward. Because she had to take care of dang on kids because of your mistakes. Because of your mistakes, you had to be took away from those dang on kids. You said those your kids, okay. If they your kids, whether they your kids or not, still take care of them and do what you're supposed to as a father. What you saying they your children for? You don't even know they your kids or not. What you saying they your children for if you ain't taking care of them? Do what you're supposed to do as a father and take care of those kids. Because we used to go to the park and stuff like that, and they used to be wanting to walk around the park with me, and we used to play on the park and all that stuff, We used to have fun, but he used to try to make me feel like I wasn't nothing by him telling his children to do different stuff. Like his children, they took a liking to me, and when they took a liking to me, they started telling me different things. Whenever he ain't here with you, he's going over his girlfriend's house. He done talked to this girl before, and they be kissing and stuff like that. And then he gonna try to tell me they be lying. They be lying on me just because they want me to continue to be with their mama. Well, they ain't say their mama. They say a whole total another girlfriend. They ain't say that they want you to be with your girlfriend or whatever. I ain't know if these people were married or not. But I met her and stuff like that. And I understood that if you want to meet somebody who is around your kids and stuff like that, you want to make sure they got, their mental intact. I'm not that type of person that's a jealous type person or whatever, gonna be all sassy just because, look, you can meet me. I'm around your children. It's normal to me for a person want to meet me, a person that's gonna be around their kids. That's normal to me. We sat down and have a civil conversation, and when she started talking and stuff like that, I was like, look, you can have him back in a minute. You can have him back in a minute because I'm about to leave and go back to Alabama. You can have him back in a minute because how she was talking is like, he gonna always be hers. You right. I'm grown though. I don't talk crazy when it comes to people and all that stuff like that, but we left off on shaking each other's hand, and that was it. That was it. That person was doing too much. Sorry. I couldn't handle all that. He was doing too much. He started commit crimes and stuff like that. And it was time for me to go. He wanted to commit crimes against me. It was time for me to go. Like, how you gonna tell somebody that their their door is open when I know that I locked it? How do you know that the door is unlocked? He said that his cousin that was across the street seen some people walking around the house, looking at the house and stuff like that, and they could have possibly opened the door. I guess they were trying to do scare tactics, but maybe I don't think they would have wanted to do that. I would have had a case in Mississippi. Probably not, because if you don't come in nobody's dang on house where you don't have no key. You don't come in nobody's house and you don't have no dang on key. So if anybody would have touched me, baby, I ain't gonna say what would have happened next. But I'm just saying, don't play about stuff like that. I'm down there by myself. What you think I'm gonna do? I gotta protect myself, right? I gotta do whatever it is I need to do to protect myself. But this person was doing a lot of stuff, and I had to go, and I left, you know. But anyway, just like I said, I made this video to let y'all know I don't have but one mother, and that's Gloria Cunningham. That's my mom. Not Veronica Cunningham, not Fannie Williams, and dang on show not Angie, and not Robin. Those people are not my mother, and have never been no mother figure at all. You know, some of the stuff that my auntie, I used to want to be around my auntie all the time though, because she was cool. She was like the cool auntie or stuff like that, and just let you just run around and do a lot of stuff, you know. So I used to call her the cool auntie, because she just didn't care. She was like getting down with all the dang on teenagers and stuff like that. Like at some point, it's time to sit down now. You're getting a little bit too old now to be doing all this stuff. But I used to be driving them down to the casino and stuff like that, so they can have fun and all this stuff like that. But no, ain't nobody ever been no mother to me. Just because I done stayed in their house, but I done paid my auntie over $1,000 just to stand with her. Tell the truth, y'all. I don't stay nowhere I can't pay or earn my keeps, even if it's keeping kids or feeding the kids. And I don't leave with a bad taste in my mouth. But some people do a whole lot of stuff that I just don't understand. But I ain't never did no bad things towards nobody, never hurt nobody, never came against nobody, and I never will. But anyway, I just had to get on here to just show y'all that I'm not miserable, depressed, down, or none of that. Yes, it's my birthday. I'm not going to even do anything or nothing like that. I'm just going to cook. Watch me something on TV. I'm just glad to be here. And I thank God that I'm here. You know, just like I said, some people just want to make you feel bad or whatever. Baby, I don't care about that. Look, I'm here. Do you hear me? I'm here. I have a roof over my head and clothes on my back. Food in my refrigerator. What I got to worry about? Not nothing. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for y'all likes, comments, and y'all subscription. I greatly appreciate all of you. I love you. I want y'all to have a good day, guys. See you later, guys.